Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee is added to the UFC June 14th Atlanta Fight Night card, which is headlined by Usman versus Buckley. Dana White Contender Series contract winners fighting on Saturday: Bo Nickal, Montel Jackson, Thomas Peterson, Daniel Marcos, Marina Rodriguez, and Dontel Mays. If JDM wins against Bilal next week, they'll go to Perth in September for a pay-per-view, but if JDM loses, they'll do a fight night in July in Perth. Jeff Molina is no longer with the UFC. He signs with BKFC.
It's the experience. Like, I've been to dozens of UFC. Some of the biggest cards. I went to the Sphere show. I've been to a bunch of UFCs, and I've been to probably 4 or 5 BKFCs. Nothing compares to BKFC, and I'm not just saying that because I've recently signed. The entertainment factor is through the roof. There's nothing more exciting. Like, they had a guy shooting T-shirts, like kind of like they do at a basketball game, and I thought that was so corny at first. And the next thing you know, I'm trying to reach for a shirt. The experience is super cool. The fights are as raw as they can get. I've always been, fancied as a striker. I love grappling. Like, I was at jiu-jitsu practice this morning. That would be the only downside to me doing bare knuckle is I won't grapple while I'm in camp. But I think my style is perfect for this. I think I could be the face of bare knuckle at 25 and even 35. Yeah, I think I was made for the sport. He's been trying to get me to come over. He thinks I could do really well over there. And then after some time, I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. I really think I can be a 2-division champ. Like I said, I'm 27 years old. I'm in the prime of my career. I've been training throughout this time, and I'm ready to go.
Jeff Molina admitted to betting against some of his teammates in the past, like Joe Holmes when he fought Jun Young Park. Holmes was the underdog in that fight, but I guess what he saw in training made him quite confident that he was going to lose, and he bet against him. And he did lose. Official poster for UFC 316, June 7th in Newark, New Jersey. Bantamweight titles on the line. On the men's side, O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. Part 2. On the women's side, Pena versus Harrison. Former UFC heavyweight Parker Porter's next BKFC fight is going to be at the Mohegan Sun on June 14th. Pyotr Yan training, no fight announcement yet. It kind of makes sense for him to fight Umar Nurmagomedov. That's a fight that he was also interested in doing. Dan Argueta retires. I decided to hang up my gloves after receiving news of the UFC not giving me the opportunity to finish out my final fight on my contract. I've ultimately decided to turn the page and start writing my next chapter. That being said, fighting indeed saved my life. The roughest, toughest, most demanding job on earth. Next to being a parent, you're a cruel son of a butt. I'll always love what we had. This isn't a maybe we'll get back together. This is a goodbye.
It's a hard knock life, man. And this fight shit like falling in love with a neighborhood hoe. She ain't ever gonna love you.
Bo Nickal takes on Rainier Ritter in the co-main event Saturday. Bo says he's comfortable wherever the fight goes, but he'll probably try and keep this standing and avoid the ground with RDR.
Definitely a guy that was on my radar. He was a guy that I asked to fight, so I feel really excited for this fight. I think it's a great matchup and an exciting matchup. He's a guy that I look at with a lot of respect, and I feel like he's a very skilled fighter, and he's shown that time and time again. Undefeated in the UFC so far, and so I'm looking forward to just putting on an amazing performance. As you saw in my last fight, 2 guys that are, more grappling focused that ended up on the feet the whole fight. And I think that with this next fight, I feel like he'll probably have a little more urgency to take it to the ground. I think he feels like he has an advantage there. But for me, I feel like, wherever the fight's at, I'm just looking to continue to compete for the entirety of the round, the entirety of the fight. And wherever the fight goes, I'll feel comfortable and confident. So, I have a good game plan that I've gone over with my coaches, and I feel like it leaves me a room for creativity, but I'm going to be able to be dangerous and a big, I think, challenge for him wherever the fight takes. Like I said, wherever this fight goes, that I'll be ready to continue to compete and go hard the whole time and bring it the whole time. So whether it's a finish in the first round or whether it's, a hard-fought 15-minute decision. I feel confident. In my last fight, we saw a lot of striking, which I'm getting more and more confident every day. I've been able to train with some really elite level jiu-jitsu grapplers, Gordon Ryan, Isaac Michel, Giancarlo Bodoni, Jason Nolf, these guys that are the top of the top in that individual discipline. And so, I'm rounding that part out of my game as well. And I think the more experience that I get, the bigger challenge it'll be for people to do anything to me. By the time it's said and done, when my career is over, I think that for me, my plan is to be the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world and one of the best fighters of all time. So I'm on that path.
For Rainier the Ritter, he wants to cause a lot of chaos in the feet and get in some sort of grappling exchange where he can lock in a choke.
Be here, the activity is so nice to be fighting a couple times a year. This is my 3rd time in 6 months. Really found a home at Kill Cliff in Florida. So yeah, things are looking good. Yeah, the fights went pretty well, right? I didn't really get hurt. I was able to finish them both. The weight has been a bit of a thing. I really have to work to stay a little closer to my weight. After the last one, I got a little heavy. But yeah, all in all, I'm very happy. We were talking about a quick, short notice fight. So was supposed to maybe even fight a week later after the last LA fight, but didn't come to fruition, unfortunately. And then they, a couple of weeks later, they called me about the Bo fight. I was surprised because I didn't really expect that one. But I think style-wise, it's a very cool matchup. To see like our grappling styles clash will be very cool. He's maybe not a top 5 talent yet, but he's definitely a top 5 name. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. He's won every fight everybody put in front of him. He's kept to his part. The Paul Craig fight wasn't that exciting, but he showed that what he's been working on. He's been working on his striking. His footwork looks decent. His cage control looks pretty decent. Some decent bump fakes, and his overhands are not too bad. I think it's up to me in this one. I need to make him wrestle. I need to make him go there. Seems like he was pretty content with this last performance, the way he moved, the way he stayed safe. And he did the smart thing anyway, right? Because you saw he was winning in the striking department. He was outstriking him every round, and he just stuck to that. But this one will look nothing like that. I need to put the pressure on him. I need to hurt him a couple times, and I need to get close, wrestle, grapple. I've been working on a lot of different chokes, but what I see is me hurting him a couple times, hurting to the body, hurting him upstairs, getting into some grappling exchanges, some wrestling exchanges, and finally wrapping my arms around his neck.